Hello everybody, this is about the 5th recording I'm doing right now because I keep trying to think of a good way to start this video, but I can't think of any. So today, now I'm just gonna make this up and I'm just gonna go. So guys, obviously this is a brand new channel, and this is probably going to be the first video on this channel. And this channel is just gonna be a channel about Lance, as the title suggests. If my friend is watching this, I'm not going to give out any names or anything, but he actually gave me the idea to start this channel, so I'd like to say thanks to him. I don't know if I can get his approval to say thanks to his actual name, but you know what, it doesn't even matter. So yeah, I'll find that out. Anyways, so I guess before I start the video, there's just one more thing I want to say. I'd just like to introduce myself. So my name's Dylan. Yeah, that's it. It's pretty pathetic, but whatever. Okay guys, so my first one is gonna be about cover teachers at school, and these guys are just your average teacher. They're the kind of person like a primary school teacher. They don't really know much. They're not necessarily an Einstein, but they know enough to get the stuff going. And cover teachers, right? They just read off a sheet. They don't actually have anything in particular. Also, they might be called supply teachers, but whatever. So yeah, they don't have anything in particular. They don't really know anything about your subject. They're just put there. They're kind of clueless. So now cover teachers are alright. Just give you the stuff, and they just sit there, and they're probably going to be playing like on their phone. I don't know, like what's that game? Which I don't know. Yeah, Candy Crush or something. I don't want to be any sexist or anything here, but I was thinking that kind of for more male supply teachers, it would be like Clash Royale or something, and then Candy Crush for. You know what? I don't want to offend anyone, so you know what? Forget about it. But anyways, so supply teachers, right? They're normally alright. As I said, they just know enough to get you going. And some supply teachers, they're kind of bent towards one subject in particular. Like maybe a supply teacher who knows a lot about science. So if you have room for science, they're just as good as a normal teacher. They can help you out with German. In my experience, the supply teacher was good at German. Yeah, and she was a real big help in German. But then I had her for technology, and it wasn't nice. It wasn't a good. She had no idea what was going on, and she was so confused. Like, I don't even know how she even passed as a supply teacher or whatever, and I don't want to say her name or anything. Oh my gosh, ugh, that looks disgusting. But yeah, she was just basically a terrible teacher. And I had her, and she was alright, but the one thing which she really hated was sneezes. So if you didn't cover your mouth with a tissue when you were sneezing, this teacher was going to kill you. She's always like, when you sneeze and cough, you need to have a tissue. Now sometimes I get it because you actually get a kind of a pre-warning, because sometimes you're like, before you sneeze, you're like, I don't know. There's a lot of before you actually go chew and then you sneeze. But sometimes a sneeze is just like that, and it comes instantly. It's like you don't, out of nowhere, it's just like, it just comes like pop, and then suddenly you sneeze. And they seem to expect you to have the fastest reaction time ever. Like you're expected to, in the space of about 0.5 seconds, they might not know this, but usually this is how long it takes before you actually sneeze. For me, because I just sneeze pretty quickly a lot of the time, they expect me to have that actual time to be able to get a tissue in that time. And I'm just sitting there, and I just nod, right? I don't want to argue with the teacher. I don't want to get into any trouble, so I just nod. And yeah. But the thing about this teacher is, what really annoyed me is that she makes such a big deal out of it. That she'd actually spent 5 minutes ranting on about how we should always cover our hand with tissues. And you know what? It's because she was so grudgy, and she blamed us for the reason that she was always sick on Christmas. She said that she was always sick on Christmas. And you know, this is probably just because it's Christmas time and it's cold, it's in winter. But no, instead of all that, of all the things, she blames it on us. She, as a joke, she called us horrible children. But I think that she actually kind of a little bit meant it, because she just seemed so annoyed sometimes. She was like, you know what? If this Christmas I'm sick, next Christmas I'm sick, I'm going to blame it on you, and I will personally come to your house at midnight and I will hunt you down. So she didn't actually say that. She just said she will hunt us down. Obviously she meant that a joke, but I don't know if that's legal or anything, so I don't want to get into any trouble, so I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut from now on. But yeah. And she always blamed us, and you know what actually made no sense? Is she stands around here at the front of the classroom. So that's next to the billboard, and apologies for this terrible drawing, but I'm using I was going to use my mouse, but that was way too fast, so I'm just using a trackpad, but it's still on computer, so it's not really natural. But anyways, so she stands over here at the front of the classroom. So I'm just gonna draw a little figure here as a representation. Anyways, so she stands here, and about, say, a space of 5 meters, there's a few desks. So 1 desk, 2 desks, and yeah, you get the idea. There's like a bunch of desks. And then I'm standing at the end of that 5 meters, and she thinks that my sneeze travels across, all the way across to her, and she expects me, who's sitting 5 meters across the classroom, to sneeze and to give her the germs. No, not this guy. The poor guy is sitting in front of me. I actually felt sorry for him. But the thing is, I even cover my hand when I sneeze and cough. And then I kind of, because it's too fast for me to actually get a tissue out, and then I usually wipe the stuff off my hand. But then she gets mad at that as well, and she starts to mimic me wiping the stuff off my hand, and then she starts ranting on, and she's like, ew. And yeah, but in reality, it's not actually the reason why she's sitting all the way across there, because there's at least 2 children blocking. But she's got like 2 lines of defense, and to be honest, I'm like a pretty short kid in my year. I'm not necessarily short, I'm just below average height, and those 2 kids are probably taller than me. Whether or not they're slouching, there's 3 kids actually, probably. Yeah, 3. They actually would have blocked that sneeze, and if they didn't, then a tiny thing like tiny bit of, I don't know, spit might have gone to our face. But you know what? Thousands of millions of tiny little spits fly out of your mouth when you talk. So a little bit of sneeze doesn't really matter now, does it? And it's not going to infect you or anything. It's just a tiny sneeze. So yeah, this cover teacher was really, really mad. And also, she had a big thing about yawning, and like yawn, and then she's like, I don't want to see the insides of your breakfast, excuse me. And I'm just there, and I'm like, okay, first of all, that's really rude. Okay, that's really rude. And second of all, there's something called brushing your teeth. I don't know if she knows what this is, but okay, sorry teacher, that's actually kind of mean. But anyways, I don't know if she knows what this is. Okay, what is this? Sorry, okay. But anyways, so people brush their teeth, right? So obviously, you're not going to be seeing any insides of breakfast unless this person doesn't know how to brush their teeth. I mean, it's such a hard thing to master, to be honest. But it would be pretty impressive if they did know, if you know what I mean. And yeah. So, oh, this is going to 10 minutes, but whatever. I'm just gonna keep going. So she'd say to cover your yawn with a tissue. I mean, I guess it kind of is rude, but apparently covering it with your hand is not good enough. I don't know about that one. I kind of got the sneezing thing and the coughing thing, but seriously, just covering a yawn with your hand, and that's a bit good. You don't have to cover your mouth with a tissue when you yawn, to be honest. You can just go over the top, right? And I'm kind of starting to frown at the teacher here, and I'm like, But anyways, the good thing about cover teachers is that you can mess about, and I don't know if you know what I mean, but when there's a cover teacher, and like, when you usually have like the head of year for one of your classes, when you get a cover teacher for that class, it's like, you just get so hyped, because for once, you can just sit back, relax, and I don't mean just don't do your work, still do your work, but like, it's not as tense, and you're not going to get murdered if you get it wrong, or anything. But I think that about comes to the end of this video, because if you know what I mean, I've kind of overrun, and it's just 12 minutes now. I don't know yes, it just past 12 minutes. So, I think I'm going to end it here. So, I'm really happy if you got to make it to the end of the video. And if you did, I'm just going to go on about one extra thing, right? And this is completely related to the topic, and I'm going to do this real quick. So, I used to have another channel, and it was called Fake YouTube, and it kind of flopped, right? I got like 38 subscribers, which isn't a lot. But I apologize to any of you who had to see that. I apologize to any of you who just went to see that now and just realized how bad it was. But actually, the newer videos aren't actually that bad, but whatever, I don't know how. It just wasn't popular. So, I don't know if I'm going to continue this channel, and I'll try to upload regularly. But I guess I'm just going to go now, so see ya.